Your stream will begin shortly. Learning 5, 4, 3, 4. Welcome to Winternomics.eth. Your stream will begin shortly. Learning 5, 4, 3, Welcome to Winternomics.eth. Your stream will begin shortly. Learning 5, 4, learning 5, 3, 4. Welcome to Winternomics.eth. Your stream will begin shortly. Loading in 5, 4, 3, 1. Your messages. Welcome. Welcome to Winternomics.eth. Your stream will begin shortly. Loading in 5, 4, 3, 1. Your messages. Welcome. Welcome to Winternomics.eth. Your stream will begin shortly.
Man, it is fucking
Loading in 5, 4, 3, 1. Your messages. Welcome to Winternomics TV. Your stream will begin shortly.
Alright, you got that camera ready? Think so?
Loading in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Get ready to just Winternomics. Welcome. Winter, 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 Winternomics. Winter, 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 winter. Welcome. Winter, 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 Winternomics. Welcome to Winternomics TV.
Boy, that transition's fucking tough, let me tell you. Too many fucking things going on there. What up, motherfuckers? Is it the end of the week somehow? Fucking Jesus, that happened quick. I don't know what day of the week it is anymore. Holy fucking shit. Pre-production getting a little smoother. Fuck. Was that better than the last one? Ah. Oh, get out of my way. Sweet Jesus. Holy fucking crap. Can I check BG? Can I fucking get my nuts in order? I'm getting there. I'm here. And with all that being said, where the fuck did I put everything when I walked in here? Because, man, the stress level on that shit was next level. What do you guys think? You guys like the thumbnail? Could you see the ghost of the past? Could you see him? There's a ghost in there somewhere. You see that motherfucker looking back at us? Look like he's coming from a portal to hell, doesn't it? Jeez, fuck. Alright, there it is. The portal. Alright, that is big no. How's everybody doing? It's alright. Gotta learn from past mistakes. That's one of the themes of that one, right? Is making sure that we actually use all the information that we generate to recalibrate. And one thing I know is, like, when you get comfortable in what you think and this is a message directed at everybody, from guys here over half a decade to guys here like a year. The contempt cycle is dangerous. When you get pretty trite in your knowledge of what you know, it's really easy to take your foot off the gas of what got you to the place where you can get that attitude. And unless you communicate a lot, you don't really have like a point of reference to tell how bad you drift. But when we say the drift is real, I think many of you understand that now, and your habits dial down, and you start to come back, and you start to have a hard time reapplying things. Well, how bad that drift can be, even for veterans, is something that's really just become more apparent to me recently. And you're going to be haunted by the ghost of your past if you don't learn from it. We talked about in our last show, Inner Space, sentiment reads on getting a lot of DMs from people who don't talk about crypto or things from the past, right? And how many of you got that crazy sentiment read just for this big ass market correction to show the fuck up? Pretty wild, right? Like there's so many of you that got DMs from people out of the blue about fucking stuff we're doing here, right? And it's always scary when that happens. So, last time we learned to read to figure out what was coming for us next is to look within. And you guys all had the intel, didn't you? You guys all had the information that let us know a correction was coming within. Like how that worked out that way? Inner space. So now that we learn from these lessons of the past when people like to show up cyclically, and we look to ourselves and make sure we don't make the mistakes of the last time we rode the potential corrective structures like this, we plan ahead with like that increased knowledge that we have. And I think everybody inside our ecosystem, you know what I'm saying, we're definitely a different place than we were just a few months ago. Sentiment was accurate, right? Inner space is a good theme, just to use that one to use our own information, right? So you guys have all the information you need. And you're like, oh man, I can't figure out what's going on in the market. Yeah, you can. You have access to all the information we needed the last show, right? I didn't have to draw a single chart for us to know that the market was dangerous right there. Like, it was up a whole fucking lot. Nothing had a good structure on any resolution we care about. And everyone's messaging you about fucking stuff they want to make money on. Always pay attention to those people who pop up only at that moment, but you haven't heard from them in between. Those are definitely not your friends. Like, trying to be buddy all of a sudden. If they're not buddy all the time, they're not your buddy, right? The levels from Nebula, from Acolyte, market prep or fire. Yep. So we did that prep. So you want to know something crazy about that? We did that prep in the pod, and we did that wide open publicly. Not a single person. There's 1,200 people in the Discord. I think we had one organic person that wasn't an acolyte that wandered in there that could have just done that for free. We didn't have to hide a thing. Do you realize how crazy that is? All the people are like want value that are in the freemium side of this thing, like could have completely waltzed into our prep and hung out trailers all day. We saw no one. How fucking dumb is that? You guys think you gotta hide stuff of value from people? Nah, man. You put it right on the fucking kitchen table and let every motherfucker walk right past it. That's one of the funniest things to myself about doing this is you think you have to hide stuff. And many of you guys who get used to being here are like, wow, Kaz, you're giving it all away. Dude, I can't give it away. Motherfuckers don't want this shit. That's the best part about this whole thing. It looks ridiculous to everybody. I'm sure that the new clones that are looking at what we do are like, what the fuck exactly do these guys do? Just talk a bunch of shit online? Basically. Basically. But somehow we end up in the right place. Don't know how he does it. That motherfucker. You son of a bitch. God, that took a week. But definitely needed. Purple haze in my glasses. They can't see all the info. It's already in here. And you guys got to make sure you don't get too overconfident that you can see so much that you don't keep fucking participating to where you got there. And that goes for you vets too. You guys don't need to center read everybody who's newer than you. You need to make sure you don't fucking lose your mental dexterity that you've achieved by sitting back doing that. Really dangerous thing to do, right? So, stay involved. Can I please check Sol USD? I think I've seen that twice. I missed it last time, so okay, I'll get it for you. The behind the scenes look, you damn right. No, I didn't shrink my room. That's the hallway. Yeah, I don't know. That pre-production's fucking killing me. Oof. Money. All right. Shmoney. Yeah, no, nah. All right, so here we are. So it's 9:01. Wow. Too much pre-production drama. All right, so let's see if you guys actually did me a favor and left me any scorecards, or did yourselves a favor and left some scorecards. Scorecards, war stories, same thing. Don't be a crackhead. Oh, no, we got a new one. Cool. Show sentiment. This is from Stevie D. If you don't know, this is the owner of the monolith kill level. So coming from The languished feeling at the end of November. I currently don't recognize my former self. See? Just tell you a couple months ago, you don't even know your former selves, right? The moment I started organizing myself and track multiple assets at once, i.e. the DXY indexes and the VIX, the more understanding I gather from the streams, and consequently I put less weight on low time frame price fluctuations to kick me out of my plan. In these last trades, the points where I shifted was the blind spot. The point where I shifted was the blind spot stream, where Kaz literally said that bias is distorting our decisions and it can limit us from seeing the full picture. Even though my 3 SQQQ trades all happened on 1 minute time frames, I was already cluing into the high emotions as seen in the inner space stream and playing the larger res. Low res also had really good memo on what to look for. So this is 10.5 hours of, a couple low res entries. Very nice. And what do you have in there? Since the murder cluster, right? The Dow Jones has been the outrunner. It was industrial rally on the back of that murder cluster. Now we have a dump, a corrective structure, which is a squeeze of tech, and now see if we get a 2B of this range and it holds, it's going to be a fucking industrial over tech strength again. You quote me down to the effing, I like that. And if you have that and the market pulls back, it's basically short tech. Right. So, right, that held, and we got a pretty good run on tech right now. We'll have to look at this today and see what he did, if that actually worked out. But good memos, right? Good notes he took to make that plan. So really good stuff. And so the SQQ is basically shorting the market. By buying the SQQ, you go short the market. So very cool, right? So nice thought and sentiment put out there. Chris Sandy, representing O-Town. Is that really you, Sandy? What's good in the hood? So I used to flip real estate with that guy. He actually bought a house for me down there and flipped it like a fucking day? You didn't have that thing really long, did you? I think he sold it pretty quick. Back in the day. Welcome, sir. I can't believe you're in here. So crypto brings everybody back to check some stuff out, huh? Shit be moving. So, not in the DMs, but it's in the DMs. So yeah, good stuff, Steve. Appreciate you putting that. So what did we get today? 114 folks. Boy. Woo. Marcus must be putting a hurting on people. Or people just don't like money. But appreciate everybody that's always out here in the mornings. Shout out to Stevie D. Appreciate throwing some bits, sir. I didn't see blocks yesterday. Shout out to you, sir, from the last stream. You see 104? Well, I don't know. I see 112. 112, 104. We're above 100, just barely. Alright, so we have a short show because we're at 9:05. So let's go look at some macro stuff, see where we are. Belgium in the house. Shout out. Why don't you guys throw some locations out there? What other countries you got in our locations represented today? Got my OG hometown peeps in the building, real estate peeps in the building. You thought those spectacles were real? Yeah, no, that's actually the filter. And I was like, I could go with this, but I was like, I like how it looked on the mask too, right? So I don't know. They're part of the funny. This shit's just funny as fuck. You know me. New Mexico. What up, Ghost? Netherlands, Greece. I love seeing how worldwide this shit is. Anybody awake in Australia over there? Should be, right? What is it? Kivo Wagwan. What yeah, say? Colorado, Belgium, Malaysia. Exotic Canada. What fucking part of Canada is considered exotic? The whole thing's just a fucking ice cube. Devon's awake in Australia. I like that shit. Portugal, Germany, Canada, Cali, South Carolina, England, Romania, UK. Goddamn. It's 1 a.m. over there. What up, Todd? What is Frogs Country? Well, I don't know what that is. What's the Frogs Country? Another one from Netherlands, the BX. Tel Aviv, what's up? Canada, sunny, exotic Canada, my ass. Luxembourg. Nice. Poland. Cross, are you in Luxembourg or France, bitch? Which one? More Netherlands. There's a lot of you Netherlands motherfuckers. God damn. Minus 20 is exotic. Minus 20 is fucking suicide. It can be sunny, just not warm. I agree. Well, that's cool. I love the worldwide representation. Ivy's happy to hear it. Very cool, very cool. So let's check out what we got. Spy Sitch. Let's see where we are. So we had our Phantom Zone, right? This is our fuchsia box that we said was big danger. The yellow line up here is Ragnarok's level. Right, if you zoom out, Iverson, what do you want? So zoom out from there. God, don't be slow trading view. I swear to God, I feel like it does this when I'm live sharing. Slow as fuck. Anyway, remember Ragnarok's level? That purple box? I know I'm not deleting anything yet from this one. All right, so that's Phantom Zone. Always a fucking worthwhile place to pay attention. Sentiment came in from lots of people digging this up out of the trenches from the past. You know, that's always something you pay attention to when you see it. So we have that. We have the QQQ, which we said was in an interesting spot, and he could flag back to this angle from that spot that would relate to the Phantom Zone. So we got exactly that, right? The QQQ has actually flagged exactly all the way back now and is gapping pre-market right here. This pre-market line is on the angle. So that's what we're waiting for. Remember last show we said we're waiting to see if he hits the angle. So he's going to open on the angle. So that's a huge inflection point technically when you get a gap onto an angle like this and the rotation's like this fast, like it came in as hard as it did. So now as we open, we're going to have to pay attention to, on a Friday, this VIX, right? This motherfucker rotated up through 21. That was a big danger we were waiting for. If this flag allowed for the rotation back through the zone, and you sit on top of it. Remember, there's a good churn of volatility right here before it arcs up through 21. This just pumped right through it. So if he structures on top of it, right, we talked about this level. Remember, we drew this guy in between Stevie D, a guy with a war story, and this box range. If we flag in here now, where this guy is, right, this range is for the flag, and punch out of here, we're probably correcting pretty fucking hard, and a lot of those that late comer money is going to reflect like, you know, another corrective structure we definitely don't want to be on the wrong side of. So the DXY also was a big danger if he rotated from this location after the FOMC that gave us catalyst. He's rotated, and he's flagging right what we said under this old trigger. So we said our flag range should be about here, about perfect. These squiggles, motherfuckers, are pretty damn good, right? They're pretty fucking good. So they're the ranges that we should get our structure. So we've got our bull flag there. And we'll make you, fuck it, blue. And if that rotates up, then we're paying attention to, you know, if the market's going to pull back with the strong dollar, then things like this, he'll continue this projection, which is the rotation from this trajectory to this trajectory to that trajectory. And it doesn't mean that the trend is over, but at least on a low resolution, it is downtrending back towards this angle. And on a big resolution, he has the potential of actually being a bear flag under this breakdown. So keeping, you know, price in its proper context for whatever resolution you give a shit about. This is obviously a fucking mega time frame. But okay, so that's our DXY things. Let's put GBP, USD on there just for another dollar pair, right? You look at this guy. Does look like a big ass bull flag, but can he absolutely go down and retest lower on a low res? Yeah, that's totally possible. So we keep track of that. If that bull flag on the DXY we see is basically, you know, that bear flag we see on the pound, and we see attempting to break down right now on the dollar to allow this rotation to continue. So you want to see this, you know, if we're going to go really risk off, you'll see strength in some stuff that you normally don't see strengthening, like the yen. So the yen right now, we talked about this bull flag. Could it actually go this path and correct down a little deeper? This would actually go in tandem with like a strong dollar. If we had a strong yen at the same time and it pushed some of these pairings down, then that would kind of give us confirmation that, you know, this can go lower. So we're watching to see which path we get out of these ranges on the yens also. These will be good markers to go with the dollar. Fixed things, I did that. DXY things, I did that. SPY things, I did that. Crypto things. So same location on ETH that we talked about, you know, be leery of if it doesn't get through it, is right here. So you did fail to get through it. So we keep track of that. And you can see how related crypto is to other risk assets, right? The correlation of this correction right with the NASDAQ and right with the S&P out of the phantom zone. Like everybody was effectively in the phantom zone. So we look at that guy with BTC. BTC now, barring this is not the beginning of something worse, we track him for potential bull flag. Otherwise, this angle will follow if it keeps on extending downwards. Total, I think we brought this guy up. Or not total, USDT.D. This guy kind of gives us a risk off for crypto if it happens, right? So if he bounces up off of this level, that's not a good thing. And that level is our old de-risking trigger right here that took us off a cliff going into, into winter. So as we bounce on that right now with the XY's rotation and VIX, this should be kind of like alert level, on your crypto side of things. We talked about, if you guys were in the spaces, we talked about the sentiment of like how many people still have their PFPs and stuff. And like I said, that's a non-leveraged pure cash market, and some people's last savings are in that place. That's one of our main dangers. We have the murder clusters supporting, this insane pump. But the one, thing that's a sentiment read that you can't avoid is the fact that there's still a lot of people that, would be considerable late dumb money in that marketplace that would survive if it didn't shake them out, one more time. So that's the danger from inner space, from the location of the beginning of this pullback. But right now, keep in mind on a broader sentiment, we do look like a potential bull flag rotation. So we keep that in mind here for this corrective structure. And there's a weakness in certain parts of NFT space, while there's strength in other parts of crypto land. That can be possible too. So I think that covers everything we want to say, right? So barring this is not just the pullback that we talked about here, those are the concerns that we have if we pull back much deeper, is that there is still some people in NFT land that I think should get shaken out. But structurally, right, if this thing fucking corrects and rotates a bull flag here, we know how to read bull flag rotations, right? Everybody knows how to read a bull flag rotation, right? So we pay attention for those signs that this guy's going to turn back up again, and if he's going to continue this trend higher from the murder cluster sentiment, we're going to be paying attention for another wave into this. So some of your key stocks you have to look at, we talked about what corrections would be. NVIDIA, this is a good zone I put across it. That's a good spot for him to stall. Looks like he stalled really good right out of it, and it has deflected right the fuck down. That was kind of reflecting this gap we talked about, right? This is a really dangerous spot he had reached. So if he gets to that gap, he could stall here. And when we drew that sentiment up, he'd get there and probably deflect and give you something. So he's looking, he's doing the bigger deflection out of it. Always pay attention to past gaps. They're always useful. So that's why we put that on there, right? Like I said, everybody who's late to this big rotation, this is kind of a stick, right? There's no res of a flag we want to deal with. He had this small flag here, punch up into that. That's a low res trade, but for now we kind of want something a little bit bigger, so it looks like we're going to get a chance to get it, right? So don't get sucked in too close. Tesla, things like that are pretty bullish. Everybody's pulling back this morning. So yeah, I think you guys have a pretty good idea where the fuck we are, right? Matt, is that it for symbols? Wow, what a bunch of slackers. Squiggles for the win. I definitely use DXY for my SQQQ plays. Yeah, it definitely gives you some confirmation to check currencies with risk assets. I agree. All those people popped up in the phantom zone. Yeah, all those people messaging everywhere, everyone from the past showing up like right after we hit the phantom zone. That's another reason I named the show Specter, right? Ghosts from the past. Also, Orange Country, Netherlands. Okay, I was like, what? G-Dog on the West Coast. It's early as fuck out there. Exxon Mobil. Don't be late. It's got my group of stocks. Let's see. So BG. What time am I at here? 9:16. Let's be fast about it. So BG. Do I have another BG chart? BG. No. So last time we looked at it, we had a flag here, rejected possible rotation this high up, never got it. Much bigger fucking corrective structure from dodging this trigger. We thought he'd make it to the trigger before he actually corrected, so didn't do it. He's done a corrective structure that big. And so is he gonna finish the rotation just a much larger bull flag? That is possible. Some stuff in agriculture has been a little bit stronger. And so I think looking at this guy, you want to look at here and just see that he's still supported by his previous system. That's really small. I think within the middle of this, let's see, didn't make it down there. I think you're still watching as like a line in the sand goes. If he structures out on top of here to give him a chance to head up here, and if he stabilizes on top of this, he can push up to the other trigger range. So I think just what you're watching for over here is if he does that. We'll just use this portable TA. Where's my let's go. BBBY. Bed Bath and Beyond. You crackheads. Are you grabbing some of that fucking Wall Street Bets nonsense on here? I'm just gonna save you some trouble and we're not gonna do that one. Sol USD. I think I've done this on some exchange. Let's see. You want me to help you get into a fucking like Wall Street Bets pump and dump? No. Don't buy garbage. Remember I talk about play strengths? Like, come on, bro. You want to do crackhead shit? Go hang out Wall Street Bets. We don't do that shit here. That's me helping you. Trust me. Where's Solana? I just seen it. Solana. There you are. No, nothing on this chart. Nothing on this chart. Okay. This is the old chart. So last time we ever looked at Solana was a while ago. Bull flag, trigger, never made trigger. Never made trigger. Never made trigger ever again. He's pretty reliably not making his trigger. So he is garbage. He is the Walmart, right? Solana NFTs. And so your crash is still a bull flag. So what's he got for like locations that we care about? And that's like the region he's bouncing like Tesla did. It's a decent reason for a bounce. It's probably better to play him when he went out the bottom of this range and came back up. If crypto gets any more strength to him, he, like most of crypto, is quite correlated, likely could rotate and go higher and rotate, up through this range. But for now, like, he'd probably be a better play coming out of this range. So just like how you see we kind of wait for him to retake out, like, recent highs. I would say the same thing is true, right? While he's down inside this range, I would want him structuring something at least coming back out of here, and that would probably be a safer place to play him than inside this range. But yeah, Solana's garbage. Baidu, we had a sheet for that guy. If you guys played him, he was inside of your OnlyFans inside the Discord, right? So that guy was dropped right there inside OnlyFans, OnlyStans. For all you acolytes, and we gave you, a basket play to pay attention to like other things like Baba and stuff like that. So now that you've reached like this high spot, which kind of correlates to, I guess, him hitting the phantom zone also, it's kind of got a lot of congestion there, I gotta say. And I never like to see that, like, he's not just like, it's not just the high that he's got right here, but it runs through so much shit. I think he's still rotating that, and I think that's still worth paying attention to. He needs a correction. How deep his correction could be, I say, this is probably the first angle of attack you're paying attention to. And see if he could actually, do like we showed you on the Euro and stuff, and rotate to this angle. So he might take some time and can trade up and then trade down and continue along the way, something like that. I think that's possible. So I think even with a deeper correction, because this trajectory is so steep, that would be better to see him kind of get himself across this level here. Yeah, I'll leave it like that. Something like that's possible, I think. But you want to play him probably with like a greater consolidation out top of this, like trying to leave here. He's a little noisy, so China better be best of breed when that happens. 922. All right. Baidu Lennar. Lennar home builders. So let's look at home builders. The whole home builders have not been like well, discretion has not been the place you want, except for this like crazy squeeze. Amazingly, they maintained pretty good strength coming out of last year, while interest rates kind of expectations of how aggressive the Fed would be kind of chilled out. So, looking at these guys right now, TP, let's see. God, I can never remember that shit. PHM. Pulte, where's he at? So we had Pulte. Did we not drop any more guys in this one here? I thought we did. There's where old Lennar is. Okay. Ooh, is that a probability cone? Interesting. Okay. That's old. We'll use this guy. So with a couple of these guys, they look quite alike. And, we've had like a discretionary squeeze right now, which is where all those guys fit into. So I think you're kind of keeping track of a few things with playing this anymore, right? If the market's going to continue to squeeze on that murder cluster sentiment, then we're looking at the correction from the phantom zone here and in the home builders, here. Ultimate low, your higher floor that you need to have happen, and so however deep this correction's got to get to allow him to like continue out of here. I'd say good area to pay attention to is probably here for a pullback. See if he pulls back to the base of like, so say about there, and then if he manages to rotate on top of this, that would probably be bullish to see him go and then challenge the high here. Slip one more in there for you. ExxonMobil, somebody just asked about, right behind it. We talked about this bull flag congesting on the top. This stuff looks pretty bullish with how weak the market is. That's probably worth paying attention to. Energy itself, is gapping up a little bit while we're down. Let me get pre-market. So right there, good call on ExxonMobil. This is the only strength in the market right now. Seems to be dirty energy, right? And your tech and everything looks soft pre-market. So if you're like looking for like intraday stuff, it looks like there's strength broadly, in pre-market stuff. So energy, a lot of these guys we talked about paying attention to. So CL is likely a little strong also. Oil is up 1%. So there isn't many. Let me look down here. Yeah, CL is the only thing green down there, right? And that's the wrong CL. But CL is the only thing green, like, anywhere right now, pre-market. So there seems to be some support like going on in some energy stuff. We talked about paying attention to that here, right? This angle in oil, if it manages to hold, you can see some strength in energy. So we do see that, like, some of these guys right now are probably worth paying attention to where they are. They're definitely relatively strong over a lot of other things, right? So we can actually, once again, pay attention to Oxy Arc. All right, and this is worth keeping track of, right? This is the pullback of Buffett on Fathy. And if Buffett's still not wrong, then this is something we don't want to leave our radar, because this was a huge cross-market ratio that gave, like, a real sign of what was really going on. So, maybe energy should be on our radar again. So good call on ExxonMobil. Structurally, it looks pretty good. All right, motherfuckers. That's it. What time is it? 9:26. You got 3 minutes to cool down and get ready. So Friday, close it out strong. Everybody, acolytes have been killing it. Make sure you don't give it back if you had a killer week, right? Talk of Russian oil output cut. So J Squid's got a fundamental right there to put a little tailwind under oil. So maybe some of the energy guys definitely, contextualize those guys sitting at highs and put them on your radar. So, all right, y'all. Till next week. Catch on the flip. Stay safe.
Welcome to Winternomics TV. Your stream will begin shortly. Loading in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Get ready, bitches. Winternomics. Welcome